Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Crypto Mischief. Richie here. We're going to talk about my favorite thing in the entire world, goddamn cryptocurrency. That's right. Today we have on stream Mr. Aaron Shames and Peter, the crypto arborist, on stream live with you guys to talk about the launch of MoonYield, which is launching very, very soon. It's actually launching in 2 days now, December 19th. Will be 3 days. Yeah, 2 days actually. Yeah, 2 days. December 19th. It's launching, and we've got a fun stream. We were actually just watching the cats in the background of Aaron's screen jumping around. So you might catch that as well if you're lucky.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, exactly. Excitement never ends.
Last time the cat jumped, Richie, the chart jumped 10%.
Yep, I was watching that stream. I was, 2 days ago with Millions, right?
Yesterday.
Millions. Yesterday,
was it 2 days ago?
Depends what time zone you're in. Both ways is right.
Yeah, weird Central Standard Timers.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the chart because the chart for MSS is looking nice. Is looking very good. I put a Telegram message out earlier saying it's actually the highest it's been in 30 days now. It's a 30-day high, which is cool.
Like moving the right direction.
Yeah, exactly. Going very nicely. We're going to talk about a lot of things today in the stream. Please follow Brett Hartman, Brett the man, in saying like the stream. Aaron, is this also live on the Mint Stake Share?
It is, yep.
Yeah. So we're in both places. If you're over on Mint Stake Shares YouTube, then hello.
We're at TriCast.
Oh yeah, we're everywhere.
3 channels going.
We've got 5. We've got 2 Twitters and 3 YouTubes. Awesome.
Yes.
That's TriCast. Nice. Quantos cast. So we are talking today about MoonYield, and got a bunch of kind of pointers I want to make on this, and we're going to get through it all. And it's going to be fun, and everyone's going to have a great time. So I just arrived back in the UK, bit jet lagged, but couldn't turn this down because I'm really excited for the launch of this protocol. Because there's one big reason I'm really excited for MoonYield is because, and it's the first point I want to talk about, this is the first ever ROI DApp that has managed to go through with the launch of a lending protocol. Now, it's been previously proposed by a few different ROI dApps. In that sense, I mean a token which is got quite a high emission rate, right? Like MSS does, right? And offering a lending protocol where you can take that token, which is being emitted from the protocol, and put it into the lending protocol and earn on it without actually having to sell the token at all, right? This is huge, massive. And like I said, it has been previously proposed. Other developers in the past who have had tokens similar, but not the same as MSS, because MSS is quite special, actually. It's got very nice tokenomics as well for this, which we're going to talk about actually as well. But they talked about it, but it was never done. It was always just used as like fishing. It's a line. It's available. It's coming, guys. It's coming. But it's never been actually put across, never been brought to the table. And this is the first time it's actually been done. So I'm really excited to see how this plays out, because I think it's going to be fantastic for the future of MSS, for, of course, the token price, but also the usability of the token. And if a token has more utility, it is immediately more valuable, and adding value to MSS is a great thing to see, really great. So that is the big thing that I think is really special about this. The YouTube video that was put out yesterday was also on Mint Stake Shares page. It's also on Drip Millions, where he was talking about it. He actually tried to simplify MoonYield because, of course, a lot of people are a little bit confused with lending because not everyone uses lending. But he used a real-world analogy for it, where he spoke about how using a Moonshare is kind of like owning a house and then renting it out, right? Or to simplify even more, it could be like owning a car and then renting your car out, right? So instead of selling your car or selling your house, you just rent it out to somebody, and then you earn passively while still owning the car, still owning the house. At any point, if you're smart, you can get your house or your car back, and then you can, of course, sell it, right? So it's double, right? Smart people in crypto earn millions from lending protocols. simple ones such as Aave, for example. I'm pretty sure everyone listening on stream has used Aave, right? Where you just supply in collateral and you borrow out tokens, right? It's not that complicated. People use this every day. And smart people use this to leverage to increase their earnings and make even larger gains in crypto with them. What MoonYield is offering, though, is more complex than simply just supplying collateral and borrowing, though, because it does offer 3 ways actually to earn with it as well, which is fantastic. In addition to actually just using mint stick share as well. So this, what we're going to be talking about that. I'm really, really excited for it, and I think everyone in the live chat should be excited for it too. And we will have people from all over the world here. We have John from Thailand. Sawadee ka. That's about it all. That's all the Thai I know. Kap kun ka. That's thank you.
It's more than I know.
Yeah. So
Yes.
Aaron, how are you doing today, Aaron? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Just been busy coding away all day, but excited to be here. Excited to talk about MoonYield and reach more people and really discuss all the great things that are going to come of this.
Good. Yeah. See, Aaron is cooking, coding and cooking. And Peter, how are you doing? Peter was just telling me a story about a tree.
Yeah, doing good, man. Glad to come home from a day at work and talk about crypto, man. We had some pretty big trees to work on today. Had one fall that we're taking care of now. So my guys are phenomenal. They're that situation's under control. So hey, it's good to see you. Good to see everybody, and glad you made it to your destination safe.
Good. I've actually talked about trees. I've got a tree. Like that tree.
Very nice.
Hey, looks healthy. Might need
Oh,
a little
yeah,
bit of water.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots to get through today. So I kind of wrote down some notes for this. So the first part would be if we talk about the key features, right? Key features for MoonYield. I put them down into, I think, to simplify it to 3 things would be: number 1, most important, you can earn crypto without selling mint stake share token, without selling MSS, right? Huge. Like,
Yep.
We're all coming to the claiming page every day. We either decide to claim or compound, and now you can, and usually, that once you claim, you think, okay, I'm claim, I must sell now, right? Because that's kind of the usual way that, that's the way the UI kind of works around. But now there's the option, you don't just have to claim and sell, you can claim and then lend, right? Lend your MSS. So it's giving a huge utility to MSS that we can earn from the tokens without ever having to sell any mint stake share at all. Of course, you still can. You just, that's everyone's choice, but it gives you this huge opportunity, and it's a great tick for the token, right? The second point I put is multiple earning methods, staking, lending, and liquidity with MoonYield. And the third one, which I think is another great key feature, long-term sustainability and rewards through MoonYield as well. So what do you guys think about that? That's the 3 key features I thought about.
Yeah, I mean, I think all the earning potential through MoonYield, which is largely the 2 staking pools, right? So the stability pool where you stake your MUSD. Well, I guess just to rewind a second, for anyone that's new, the way that the lending protocol works is that you deposit your MSS and you borrow out MUSD. Now, MUSD then can be deposited into the stability pool, which earns MoonYield tokens. And then you also have the MoonYield staking pool, where you can deposit your Moon share, and that is going to then earn you fees, largely the MUSD fees on borrowing. So there's a couple exciting new ways to earn, which I'm really excited about. And something else that I'm really excited about is just all the extra potential it gives us for future expansions of the protocol, because now we have other tokens, right? So we can, I talked about this briefly in the last AMA, but we can now do things with MUSD, because the way that MUSD works is, in order for MUSD to come into circulation, it has to be borrowed, which means that it is automatically backed by minimum 130% of its value in MSS. So as much as you're able to buy or sell MUSD on the open market, there needs to be enough supply to facilitate that, which means that all of that supply is backed by MSS. And now we can further expand the protocol using MUSD in addition to MSS Because MSS has a tax on it, which kind of limits you in terms of how you can integrate that into certain things. Where if we use MUSD for other integrations, that's backed by MSS, but MUSD doesn't have a sales tax, so it is a bit more flexible with other integrations. And when you integrate MUSD into another protocol or some other expansion that we could come out with, like I said earlier, a minimum 130% of the value of that MUSD is backed with MSS. So it's almost more bullish for MSS to be using MUSD, so to provide extra utility for MUSD. So yeah, it really opens the doors for us.
Do you think the MUSD is will be V2 or V3, the liquidity held for PancakeSwap?
We're going to do both. And the reason I say that is that for the LP bonding, I don't even know if it's possible to do LP bonding with V3. So we'll be taking in liquidity with LP bonding that's V2. But because of the way that LP bonding works, it's basically us purchasing the LP from the users. So that's protocol owned liquidity. So then we can then take that and switch that into V3. So it's much more efficient, right?
Nice.
So we receive the liquidity in V2. It can still be used while it's V2, but it's just like horribly inefficient to use V2 for a stablecoin pair. So it's like horribly inefficient. So yeah, we'll definitely be converting that to V3 on a regular basis.
Great.
Keep that price stable.
Which is another way to earn, because you can get that, build your own liquidity in PancakeSwap V3 and then soon V4 as well with their what they call hooks, the hooks that they're bringing out, and that will be another use case that we can use with the MUSD, because like you say, there's no buy or sell tax on MUSD, so it's really does lend itself to being very useful. Get it?
I like that one.
Yeah,
You're on your game, Richie. You're on your game.
Yeah, so there you were talking about the stability pool, right? The earning with the MoonYield with the stability pool. You earn the MoonShare rewards in the stability pool, right?
Yeah.
If I'm correct there, which is great. Okay, and then we also have the MoonShare staking. So a lot of people went into this pre-sale. That pre-sale was hot. Oh my God.
It took forever.
It did. Come on, you're exaggerating.
My kids have told me that too.
Yeah. Yeah, that sold fast. And there's now a lot of lucky people who were there on time, in place, and present and aware that we're able to get into that what was it, under 10 minutes, right? It sold out. 200 BNB gone like that in a flash. So a lot of lucky people now. I guess probably around 200 people, I'm guessing, roughly, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, that's a good question. I haven't really checked.
Yeah, I'd guess around about that. What was it? 200 BNB hard cap. Yeah. So roughly. So those lucky people already have a bag of tokens, or of MoonShare tokens. So, and they're going to be immediately able to stake them on launch and start earning rewards from the protocol. And of course, we will be able to buy MoonShare as well. It will be a liquid token. And then the third big way to earn is with liquidity provision, right? So how does that work? What is liquidity provision?
So that's going to be our LP bonding, which is going to come out very shortly after the protocol. Because again, it's something that I've got a lot of experience with. It took a while to figure that out for the first time. Pretty interesting stuff, but
so you worked on that one with the bomb money back in the day.
Yeah. So I played around with it with bomb money, and we had a lot of success with it, right? Yeah. Because I was kind of just looking at the whole Olympus DAO mentality of why pay to rent liquidity when you can pay to own liquidity, and it just made a lot of sense, and we tried it and it worked really well. And thinking back to all the buy pressure that we got because of bonding, like I think some of the best buy pressure we ever got on bomb was when we were offering LP bonding, because it was just such a simple thing, right? You get bomb, you pair it with Bitcoin, and you trade it in for the share token at a discount, right? So people were just doing this as much as they could, and they kept looping it every day, right? They'd get their share token, they'd sell it, they'd get more bomb, and they'd cycle it back in, and yeah, it worked great.
Yeah, that's nice. I remember those days. Yeah, that's anyone who's newer to Minstake Share, I'm known Aaron for so long, through the bomb days, it was like every couple of months, you're just rolling out a new idea, a new build to go on top of Bomb, learning how to, code up and launch these protocols with, great success actually. Like each one was just, bang on for a launch. And it's like now you got this utility belt of of things that you could add to MSS if you chose to, and lending was the first one. I remember shortly after launch you said, you really want to get the lending going, and and now it's here, now it's arrived. And we do have some key dates to think about for this, right? So coming along the bottom of the screen throughout this whole stream is the MoonYield launches on December 19th, right? So that's the day to be very, very much aware and ready, right? And there's a couple other days. Have you announced yet about the when the liquidity will be added to the pre-sale token?
Yeah. So 24 hours before the protocol launches, so like exactly one full day, we're going to be creating that LP pair for Moonshare. So that's when you'll be able to buy it if you weren't able to participate in the pre-sale. And at the same time, I'm going to have it so that you're able to actually stake those Moonshare tokens into the protocol before MoonYield launches. That way, you'll be able to earn fees right from when people start to borrow, right when the protocol launches. So
that's good. Yeah, because the benefit there, it's if you're able to stake the tokens into the protocol before it launches, that means the second that the button is pressed, right, and emissions start, and we get going with this, that means that you get guaranteed highest ever APR, second one, as soon as this goes, right? So anyone who did miss the pre-sale does have the opportunity to purchase the token and get it into the platform before the fund starts, right? So you said that was the 18th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 18th. Okay. Yep. So 2 key dates there. Very, very fast. We did, I remember we had a chat about, when to add the liquidity, how long to leave beforehand. Should it be a long time or a short time? But I think 24 hours is perfect. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, like we were going to do 12 hours, but then I figured that like we want to make a big deal about the trading start. And then we also want to make a big deal about the protocol launch. So it was hard to line up the times with 12 hours. So we figured 24 is going to be better.
Yeah. Okay. Nice question here about 2 tokens then. From Bosch Bashkin. Nice name. With a drum as his picture as well. Bosch, Bosch, Bosch. So he says, so if I have MSS and some Moonshare, what are my options? Oh, some options there.
Yeah, I mean, you got the right 2 tokens to start. Definitely you can deposit your Moonshare right into the Moonshare staking pool, and you can do that before MoonYield actually launches on the 19th. And with your MSS, just have that handy. Once the protocol launches, you're able to use that as collateral to then borrow MUSD. Like anybody that has liquid MSS, they can be among the very first people to actually get their hands on MUSD. So that'll be really exciting. And, the stability pool is going to be paying absolutely bonkers at the very beginning, just because there's literally going to be 0 MUSD in the stability pool at the launch. So whoever puts that first MUSD in is getting 100% of the rewards, right? So
that's going to be
quick.
It's going to be a race. Totally. Yeah. Well, that's that's why you need mint stake share for this, and that's why I think we're going to start seeing, we're already seeing a nice little bump up in this chart. We're about to, on the Binance Smart Chain, it looks like we're just so close to 3 cents. It's minimally under 3 cents. It did spike just above 3 cents earlier today. And it's the chart's looking great, bouncing up because people realize, oh wait, I need more mint stake share for this, right? I need to get the mint stake share into MoonYield because that's how to get mostly active in this protocol. And then with the Moonshare token, then it's it's tomorrow, time to get in and buy that stuff up, buy it up.
Yeah. I know something we could talk about that I haven't really talked about yet, just to give some alpha to the stream.
Oh really? Okay.
So let's talk about the MUSD liquidity. Because I know some people are going to want to either buy MUSD because they want to just jump into that stability pool as hard as they can, and maybe they don't have as much MSS as they'd like. Or maybe other guys want to be the first to testing out selling MUSD, right? Taking your MSS, depositing that as collateral, and borrowing MUSD to sell on the open market. So let's talk about the MUSD liquidity, because that actually won't be ready right the second the protocol launches. And the reason for that is that MUSD only comes into existence by borrowing. So although I am creating the initial liquidity pair, I can't get a hold of any MUSD before anybody else. So I'm going to be borrowing myself and, on behalf of the protocol, and then we're going to be creating liquidity with that. So, I do anticipate that, we'll have that liquidity set up relatively quick after the protocol launches, but those are manual steps that I'm going to have to take to get that going. So for right the first second it launches, your only option to get MUSD will be borrowing.
Oh, okay, yeah, because there will be, without liquidity, you can't buy the token. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't make liquidity without the MUSD. So
yeah. So there's a lot of steps happening here, because we have a comment here. He says, what time will we be able to purchase MoonShare on the 18th? So that will be when liquidity is added to MoonShare. So two tokens here, MUSD and MoonShare, because with no liquidity, you cannot buy anything. It's impossible.
In terms of the time, though, we're going to do 1800 UTC, which is, for anyone that's familiar with our usual AMAs, that's the exact same time that we always have our AMAs at. So that's going to be the date. That's going to be the time on the 18th where we create that initial liquidity. And that's also going to be the time on the 19th when we actually open the protocol up.
Okay,
hey,
great.
guys,
So
not to interrupt, but we're back above 3 cents and climbing.
Oh, we did it? We did
Yes.
it.
Let's go.
That's actually twice in the last 3 hours.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think BNB's been working against us a little bit the last hour or so, but
it'll work for us. Don't worry. BNB's going to go through the roof.
Cat's bullish, man.
Cat is very bullish.
Yeah. Well, Simon's cat as well. Oh my God. Looking at memes again. Still looking at memes. Yeah. And your cat is bullish as well. Aaron's cat. Someone should make that meme. Aaron's cat. Get it on Binance. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. What time is launch on the 19th? You heard it here. 1800 UTC, right? Yeah.
So for anyone in Eastern time, that's 1 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
Hey, thank you, Aaron.
Yeah. Yep. So that's you only need to remember one time ever with Mint Stake Share, because that's when they do most of their AMAs. That's and that's also going to be when things are going live. So 1800 UTC. There we go. We got it there. We have a couple comments. Some of them are more linked to other topics we're going to be talking about. But there's some basic ones I want to just get through at the moment. One here from Seblo10. What's the URL for MoonYield?
It's MoonYield.app.
Okay, but the site isn't live. Only the pre-sale site's live at the moment, right?
It just redirects to the docs right now.
Okay, cool.
But you guys can go ahead and bookmark that, or share it with your friends or whatever. It's MoonYield.app. Cool.
I'm going to write that down just in case I forget it. Yeah, okay, so MoonYield.app, and the site will go live probably 1800 UTC.
Yep.
Exactly. There you go, guys. Okay, that's one of the. Then we have how much MoonShare can be staked before launch.
As much as you have.
Yeah.
But if this question is just about if MoonShare can be staked before launch, it'll be open for staking 24 hours before the protocol opens. So you have 24 hours to deposit those MoonShare before it'll start earning you revenue.
Yeah. Okay, good. So that's another simple question. And yeah, I think the other more complex ones we're gonna go through a little bit. The cat's getting bullish. Yes, let's go. You have a new hashtag here. MoonYield share stake mint.
I like it.
It's pretty.
Oh, Aaron, we got to do a hashtag for the stream.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah.
Richie,
can you
got to do a hashtag on your giveaway tool.
Yeah, we'll do a big giveaway for you.
Do I have to do it? I don't know how to do it.
I could send you the link, or you could just, if you Google StreamYard giveaway tool, it'll come right up.
StreamYard. Well, we need a hashtag. So in the live chat, you guys should get busy with some.
You got to press the button first before it starts collecting them.
But we can get some suggestions on the hashtag.
Oh yeah.
Richie, did you find it?
Yeah, I'm just looking now. I'm not very good at multitasking. Yeah, here we go. StreamYard giveaway tool. That's the one.
And then if you're on this page that came up in Google, it should be like that third option that says in a new tab, open the StreamYard giveaway tool. our page, and that brings you right there. You should see your stream there.
It's brought up a YouTube video.
Richie, it's coming to you in inbox.
All right. That's good.
Oh yeah, it's just streamyard.com/giveaway. That's a little bit easier.
There you go. You got it.
Okay. Let me see. Is it on Telegram?
Yes.
Okay. Wait. Well, first, let me give you a question while I do that, so there's no dead air. No one likes dead air. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the MSS token and how we're doing, right? So two things I've noticed. Binance Smart Chain, it's 40% up from the floor. Base Chain, 39% up from the floor, right? This is bullish. So what have you guys been seeing in the price performance of Mint Stake Share in the past week? Actually, the floor was a week ago. So what have you guys been seeing?
So ever since people have been talking more about lending and the concept has been, shall we say, resonating more, people are realizing that they need more MSS for this protocol, Richie. Yep. So people have been loading up their bags on this. That's from just a simple standpoint, what I've seen.
Yeah, and I think why the AMAs have been working so well is it's not the easiest things to understand, but I think that when we explain exactly how this protocol is going to impact the MSS token and the demand on the token, I think that's really driving buys. There's a lot of reasons people could want to buy MSS right now, right? I mean, it's even for people that don't want to participate in lending. Everything that we have going on is going to be very bullish for the whole protocol. So it's a great time to just enter the core protocol itself. Even guys that want to speculate on the price, as much as that, I think there's better ways to utilize the token. But I mean, if there's probably some guys that are picking it up just to speculate the price is going to go up, which I think is a pretty fair assessment. Then of course you got the obvious one, which is people are loading up on their MSS in order to participate in the lending protocol. So I think there's numerous reasons why we're attracting a lot of additional buy pressure now.
I decided on a hashtag. I picked one. I picked the one from Hextoshi to the MoonYield.
There you go.
To the MoonYield. I'll put it in the banner at the bottom as well. Yeah, well, that's what I've been watching, because I've been watching the chart these past couple days, and it's been, the buys coming in are massive. There's some really, really big buys coming in, and they're smart money is deciding, wait a minute, this is my opportunity that I've been waiting for with this. And personally, my buy zone for Mint Stake Share has always been around about this price, actually. Around about the 2 cent to 3 cent price is, I think, a really great value purchase for the MSS token. And to take it and manage to stake it in the second this opens, it's fantastic, yeah. So here we have to the MoonYield. There we go. So get those hashtags in. And what's the prize?
I think we're doing 20,000 MSS.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got my notes here. I'll find it.
20,000.
Okay.
20,000 MSS.
Yeah.
And we'll do that liquid, so you got MSS to participate in lending.
Exactly. That's what you want. Yeah, we're seeing good volume, a lot of taxations and makers as well on the token today. It's just awesome stuff. I don't know. Like I think this is going to start hyping up as well. I'm getting into tomorrow once the first the first milestones met of getting the token liquidity added, and then seeing, oh wait, there's a new token launched. New shiny object syndrome will kick in. I think the volatility on the new token is going to be wild, because there's going to be a lot of speculation on it. What I would suggest from people, from my experience of buying tokens after pre-sale points, is you will see volatility. If you do see a red candle, take advantage of it, because generally these get eaten up quite quickly. If you see a giant green candle, then of course that's great for the protocol, so be happy, don't be too sad. But then be patient enough, like you have 24 hours, right, to get the token. So watch the chart and try find your entry that you're happy with. Generally, set yourself a market cap that you want to get the token at. Don't be too distracted by the candles, and just think about it in terms of market cap, of what kind of whereabouts did you want to get it in its growth, right? And if you can capture that, say you get it at under, well, what kind of market cap do you think it'll be launching at actually
So
with the
based on the
liquidity being high?
circulating supply, it's actually quite low.
Yeah,
What did I calculate it out to? I think
300,000, I think.
300,000.
yeah, that's very low. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause that's just the pre-sale price times the 4 million circulating tokens
Correct.
up front.
That's easy to pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Wow.
what I'm interested in seeing is how many tokens get staked, right? Because you got the 2 million tokens that went out in the pre-sale. Then you're going to have another 2 million tokens that's going to get added to liquidity. So if we get like, say, I don't know, 1 to 1.5 million tokens staked right away, then I mean, like, you're going to have a bunch of guys that weren't able to participate in the pre-sale that want to start buying the token now. And, we might actually see over 2 million tokens end up getting staked, which would be very bullish for the price, right?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So personally, for me, for buying it, then if I can capture it under 1 million market cap, then I'm good to go. Because I mean, go have a look at other protocol tokens for lending protocols and see the market caps that they hold, and the potential is insane for our value of this, with the utility.
So our
And
tokenomics on Moonshare is almost identical to the LQTY token of Liquidity. And I
yeah,
think their token's up trading at a couple bucks.
It's about $4.30 the other day, I think it was.
Yeah.
nice. And so then getting back to Mint Stake Share Token, because there's something I want to talk about as well that was brought to me by a community member. And he wanted to touch on, he messaged me before the stream just to make sure I talk about this. I think he wanted me to talk about it earlier as well in the stream, is to do with the idea of liquidations, right? And how it's not, some people might be afraid of the word liquidation, right? Because it doesn't sound too nice, right? And there's two parts I want to mention about this. The first was, I kind of agree with him. He said people shouldn't really be too afraid of being liquidated if it does happen in Mint Stake Share, in MoonYield, because if you would get liquidated if you supplied your MSS tokens and you borrowed out too much MUSD, and then there was a dip in the price of MSS token, right? And you were too close to that line, right? You were basically riding on the edge too hard, okay? Which one you shouldn't do. You should be more responsible with your lending. But if it does happen, what happens when you get liquidated is you wouldn't have the MSS anymore, but you still have the MUSD, right? So essentially what will have happened is you've sold the MSS tokens and now you only have the MUSD, right? Which isn't the end of the world, right? It's not like you're left with absolutely nothing, right? And what do you think about that? What's your opinion on my thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely true what you're saying.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with you that it's not wise to completely max out your borrow abilities with your, depending on your collateral that you deposit.
No.
But yeah, I mean, if you do end up getting liquidated, like you said, you're still holding all that MUSD that you borrowed. So, it's not too much different than if you would have just sold your MSS in the first place. And depending on what you've earned with that MUSD, you're probably going to be better off anyways, even if you end up getting liquidated. So
exactly. Right. And then the second part of that is to look back at the tokenomics of MSS, right? And there are tokenomics which happen with buys and sells of MSS, right? Which help the liquidity of the MSS token.
yeah.
Yeah. What are they? Is it 7% with the buys?
On buys, it's a 3% tax if you do it through our site, or it's a 4% tax if you do it through anywhere else, or like direct on PancakeSwap.
Yeah.
And for
3
sells,
internal, 4 external. Yeah.
Yeah, and then for sells, it's 9 internal, 12 external.
Yeah. And what happens with that in liquidity? So with those
so
taxes.
It's got a little bit more complicated since we introduced like our in-house swap, but on the selling, it's 2/3 that gets added to liquidity.
Yeah.
On the buying, if it's done externally, it's 2/3. If it's done internally, then we have the referrals and burns and stuff.
And this is why I think that when you look at the MSS chart on a daily, okay, on daily price action. So say you're supplying the MSS token as collateral, right? And a big benefit of Mint Stake Share are these aforementioned tokenomics of liquidity providing through buys and sells. And what this is actually doing is it's lessening the impact that large buys and large sells have on the price of MSS, which makes it way less volatile than it would be if if MSS token didn't have these in effect. And that's a huge benefit, I think, for using MSS as a collateral token, as a lending token, because it does have this backup of this massive liquidity. The liquidity of MSS is $808,000 at the moment, with a market cap of $962,000. You will not find many tokens which have a liquidity which is almost the same as the market cap. It's incredibly strong as a token.
Yeah.
You know, and this makes it, in my opinion, great for using as a coin for using in a lending protocol. Because of that, the volatility, of course, everyone sells, the token price goes down, everyone buys, the token price goes up. That's how tokens work. But the volatility on the chart will not be as extreme as if it didn't have these liquidity mechanics already put in. And I don't know if you planned it like that, Aaron, or it just came together like that.
No, 100%, right? Like, I mean, the whole like minting and mint stake share, like minting goes like a massive percentage of that goes directly to liquidity. The sells and buys, the taxes there go to liquidity. That was definitely part of the plan right from when I was drawing up the idea on day one. So, it's ROI DApp. There's going to be a lot of buying, selling. So I figured, stability is way more important than price moves. I mean, even if you look at our chart, right, we had some, we were doing great. And, obviously since the second exploit, things have, the chart took a little bit of a downturn. But if you think about our huge liquidity, we would have, if we didn't have that big liquidity, we would have went up a lot higher, which just means that we would have just came down that much faster, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it so very few people benefit and everybody else kind of suffers, right? So with bigger liquidity, it really evens the playing field, gives us that stability. And yeah, that was definitely part of the plan right from day one.
Yeah,
Richie,
exactly.
the liquidity has gone so big, it's taken on its own name.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Liquidity.
Liquidity.
Yeah, and it's why, in my opinion, I get a lot of messages and things. People are, oh, I'm not sure about the liquidation thing, and like, look, of course, you need to be responsible about it. And I'm sure once we're live with the lending protocol, there'll be a lot of people who want to talk about MoonYield and give education and give their opinion on what they think is the best collateral ratio that they want to use for their lending, what they think will get you because we want to squeeze as much out of it as possible, right? Without putting yourself at risk. I've been liquidated before. It happened to me once.
Just once?
Yeah, just once. It was early days. I was using Aave on Polygon Network, and I was watching. I can't remember the YouTuber's name, but he managed to earn like 10,000 Matic from just borrowing USDC. And at that time, Aave was rewarding Polygon Matic token and the APR as well for the lending. Yeah, and I put in my collateral ratio was way too high or way too small, I guess, and there was a big dump in the market overnight, and I woke up and USDC was gone. It was gone. Yeah. Everything was gone. I was like, oh no.
Richie, a pretty common question about lending is what's the minimum Aaron, the minimum is $100, correct?
100 MUSD. Yeah.
Yes.
That's fair enough. That's a good round amount. Then the other thing about the MSS token is that if we talk a lot, just to wrap that up, then is, what's the focus right now for people who are looking at MSS, right? So if we come to the chart for mint stake share, you'll be looking at it and thinking, okay, what do I have to do now to be ready for the launch, right? And depends on how much MSS you have, right? To be honest, because if you're sitting with a big liquid bag of MSS, then that means that on launch, on December 19th at 18 UTC, when the protocol launches, you're going to be able to take your MSS and immediately get it in and start getting that MUSD, right? And because you already have liquid and MSS. If you are a user of Mint Stake Share, then of course you might have a lot of MSS in your deposits, but you're only getting that, you would only be able to claim out that 1% daily from it, okay? Then you would have to wait to start building your position inside of MoonYield, right? Which is also great if you do have a large staking of MSS, then you do have continuous MSS that you're going to be able to daily supply into the protocol, right? So there's two options there. And for me, the question is, do you have enough MSS for launch? And the answer, I guess, for almost everyone is no, I don't have enough MSS for launch. So,
Right.
It really brings up some interesting strategy though, because like
yeah,
all of these great additions, starting with MoonYield, they
yeah,
give you a lot of things that you can do with your MSS, but because of how great our core staking protocol is, you really have to still think, right? Do I want to compound the 2% or do I claim out the 1% and have my deposit balance go down? I mean, I think right now at the beginning, it's
yeah,
obvious everybody needs as much MSS as they can possibly get their hands on.
yeah.
That's why the charts are doing what they're doing. But I think for, if you fast forward a little bit for someone that's already built up a big position in each, it's like, then they have to start thinking, well, do I want to build up my staking account or do I want to, have more in lending where it's, things are liquid. I can actually remove them if I want to, but
Hmm.
there's going to be a lot of strategy to that. And, I'm sure everyone's going to do it a little bit differently and interested to see how it goes.
Yeah. Personally, I've got three staking accounts, and I've got two of them on full whack compound, just suicide compound in those guys. Still, the other one, I've it's I mean, have to say, it's that time of year. Like, thank you for MSS. It's been an incredibly profitable protocol, and that's I'm pretty sure that's why everyone's in the chat right now. We have 138 people live right now, and that's because um, people are either profiting from MSS or see the potential and will be profiting from MSS, right? And this is a great thing, And this with my other position is, how much now it's, you're getting close to the bone. You think, oh no, wait a minute. If I keep claiming and if I keep holding, right, without claiming, there's a 7-day timer on the claiming, right? You can't just hold it forever. If you
Yep.
leave it for 7 days, it stops earning, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, get it to 6 days, and then you're like, okay, well, how much would I be able to collect then to put into MoonYield? Yeah, but probably, the big option that people are going to come to will be, okay, I'm just going to have to buy more. I'm just going to have to
Yeah.
grab more of this token.
Richie,
And
it's really been
yeah,
about half and half. Some people are letting the timer run. Some people are still letting the timer run and DCAing into MSS simply
yep.
for price appreciation right now as well.
Yep. I mean, today I made a buy today on base chain, but it's when you go to buy though, right? For mint stake share, you come to the swap page and it has that little tab, auto stake. And for some reason, I just always auto stake. So even today I bought and I was like, I'm just going to stake it. I don't know why. It's like, I'm just going to stake it because it's just the rewards are too juicy. Your cat agrees.
Yeah. You relax.
Stake.
Well,
Stake it.
just to talk about the core MSS protocol for a second, it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting because if you're, if you're doing all compounding, for example, it actually makes sense to, at least compound once per day. But
Yeah.
if you're looking at claiming, it's actually beneficial, just say you are planning to claim over the next 7 days. Some people might think that because compounding makes sense to do daily, that the claiming makes sense to do daily, but it actually doesn't work out that way, right? Because when you claim every day, that first claim is actually dropping your balance down. So you're actually earning less the next day. So if you're actually planning to claim for numerous days in a row, you're better to let it accumulate,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, when you're staring at those numbers and you see, okay, I can collect 50,000 or compound 100,000, I
Yeah.
think that's when people are going to start thinking like you were just thinking, right? Where it's like, maybe I should compound and then just buy some fresh MSS for lending. Right?
Yeah, exactly, right? Because then you have more MSS tomorrow.
And that was part of the design too, right? Is that
Yeah.
we wanted to show those numbers, right? So when you're claiming or collecting, you're going to see that bigger number right beside it that you can compound double, right? So I think that was a great
That's
design.
another point actually. I didn't put this in my points for MSS platform, but it is also that with the MSS token, it allows you to use MoonYield also as a way of earning affiliate rewards. Because say you are into MoonYield and you're like, all right, so MoonYield is really fantastic. I think it's good. I think it's got great potential for growth, right? And you think, okay, I want to tell people about it. I think it's great advice for people. Then you can move them to Mint Stake Share, get your share link, and then send that and say, okay, so what you need to do first is buy MSS token. They buy MSS token on the swap page. They get rewards from the share reward from Mint Stake Share, and then they deposit into into the lending protocol. But that means there is a throughway there with mint stake share too for people to continue to want to share the protocol and explain how to use it and what you can now use with it. Like it's a great card to pull out, of the stack now, saying, okay, mint stake share, the one I told you about before that you didn't go into. Well, now they have this rollout. You should really consider it once again because of this. And then boom, immediately you get BNB or, ETH dropped into your wallet,
You just got my
uh,
brain spinning a bit there
yeah.
while you're talking about this, because I was just thinking, like, how do we integrate the MSS swap so it's easy for people to use that are like on the MoonYield site, but at the same time still get that referral credit, right? Because, but maybe an iframe, as much as I hate iframes, it's a really hacky way to do things. Like an iframe with the mint stake share site in that iframe could be a way for us to carry that referral info.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Ooh,
yeah.
I like it, Aaron.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just don't delay the site.
Yeah.
Do it after. Okay, we got some comments to get through. When we talked about this already. When you are liquidated, do you lose all your collateral?
So it depends. I'd say typically it's not going to be the case, but it's heavily dependent on the position.
Yeah, I mean, if you go full ham and take the smallest margin, and there is a decline in price that's quite significant, you could lose all your collateral. But usually it doesn't happen like that.
Yeah, I think usually you wouldn't lose all of it.
Yeah,
depending.
He has a nice avatar there.
I like it.
Steve, just a comment here. The stability of the MSS protocol itself provides stability to the lending. Yes, exactly. That's what I was saying. With the tokenomics of the buy and sell, that is adding much amazing, like it's great stability for it. From Suchan, what percentage would be a reasonable percentage for the initial deposit of MSS lending? 200%?
So I think that 200 is a pretty safe way to play it. I think that anything between 160 to 200 would be pretty good for, right when things launch. And keep in mind that, you can feel free to deposit as much MSS as you really want to, right? So like, for example, just say the loan that you want to take out only needs, say, 10,000 MSS to properly secure it. You could, if you have 20,000 handy, you could always put those 20,000 in. You can take them back out. There's no fee for depositing or withdrawing MSS. The fee is only when you're borrowing new MUSD. So, so I'd say if anything, you could keep it a little bit on the safer side, and then depending what the MSS price is doing, and once you see how much the stability pool is paying, you can decide to then go ahead and borrow more, or do whatever you want with the position.
That goes back down to, hey, how high do I want my staking balance to get, so in case I need to collateralize my loan even faster?
But something else to keep in mind, right? Like, as long as you're paying attention to it, you can definitely pull MUSD out of this stability pool with no penalty and pay back some of your loan, right? Like, you will be, there's a 2% fee to borrow that MUSD. So, I mean, if you borrow and just pay it back right away, you will be out that 2%. But if you do see it's getting a little closer than you'd like it for your own, level of comfort, then you can definitely, move some funds around and pay back some.
Yeah, or buy more MSS and put it in.
Yeah, that's the better bet.
Put yourself in safety.
Yep.
And we have a question here from Blockchain Bandit. How much MUSD do you get when you deposit MSS? Let's say I deposit 1,000 MSS. How much MUSD will I acquire?
Yeah, so that's fully up to you. As long as it's within, a better way to look at it is like the US dollar values, right? So if you deposit 1,000, well, just for simplicity, let's say if you deposit $1,300 worth of MSS, your maximum MUSD you could get is 1,000 MUSD at the absolute maximum. But it's up to you. You could take 500 or 200 or any amount that you want up to that 1,000 maximum.
Just bought more MSS. Let's go. Let's go. Jimmy J has a question. He says, stability pool rewards solely from liquidations, or are there other revenue streams for the stability pool?
So the stability pool gets moonshare emissions. That's where like the big APR on the stability pool is going to come from. But in addition to that, it does benefit from liquidations as well.
Good. You got all the answers. Good. And which pool do you think will pay most reward percentage in the first week of launch, stability or staking?
Good question. So, I mean, I think the stability pool, just because it does have those Moonshare emissions, it is likely to be higher. Although, the Moonshare staking pool, right? There's going to be 0 MUSD in circulation or in existence when the protocol launches. So there's, I've heard a couple of guesses about how much MUSD is going to get borrowed on day one. I think it's going to be quite a large number, right? So I think that action on day one is going to be insane for the Moonshare staking pool as well. So, so for the very, very beginning, it's going to be hard to say. It really depends on the activity. But yeah, stability pool, it's, that's what provides the protocol with its stability. So that's, what's incentivized. And, I think that will likely be higher.
And how often are emissions paid out from the stability pool?
Every block they tick
block
up.
by block, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you can claim them out as often as you want.
And last question here is the MSS that's being used for collateral, is it being staked? Will you receive rewards? I think you mean staked in MSS, right?
Yeah. So I mean, that's an interesting question that some people have asked. So it's something that I wish there was a way to do that, but so it's, your MSS is either going into the MSS core protocol and you're earning off it there, or you're separately, you can choose to use it in the lending protocol, but you don't earn rewards that way, but you do get to borrow MUSD at 0 interest. So, and again, and you can of course earn with your MUSD, and you can earn with your Moonshare that you'll earn with MUSD. So there's still a lot of ways to earn through that avenue.
Okay, good. Arborist, I have a question for you. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
What are your expectations for the launch of MoonYield? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I can tell you this.
Aaron doesn't like these kind of questions, so I'm going to ask you.
That's okay. I'm the one that just sends it, and here we go. You can see Aaron already cringing up, going, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
But on this, my thing, Richie, is with as fast as the reward token sold out, and how just exciting and just how much this is anticipated. I think we're going to see a lot of people pouring into this. Just watching the chat, and what's really exciting is it's really clicking with people how much MSS that they know they're going to need for the protocol. Mm-hmm. And even in the talk yesterday with Millions and everybody else, that's the chart started popping once we started getting into that just dinner time conversation of, hey, wow, man, we're really going to need a whole lot more MSS than we really realize on this. And you guys are right on this. If you're claiming now, you're not going to have enough. I mean, now's the time to TCA. I mean, I'm about to buy some right now, just a second again, because every time this conversation comes up, I go, oh my God, I don't have enough to go into it right now. And also the other exciting thing, I just looked up the LQTY token price. It's actually $2.14. So imagine going from 7.5 cents up to a price like that. People are about to make a lot of money off of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so
so I mean, it's just from a non-crypto guy perspective. I mean, this looks like Christmas is about to be paid for quite some time.
Yeah, that's big expectation. Nice. That's the answer I wanted to see.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. Right, let's play a game. It's called the 3-word description game, and we're going to use this for the 3 tokens that we're going to have in the ecosystem now, right? So you can only choose any 3 words and link them. So for example, MSS, let's go with the first token, mint stake share token. I chose incredible passive income, right? Would be my 3 words, which I chose for MSS. So if you guys could choose 3 words to describe MSS, what would they be?
Explosive, stable, earning.
Oh, nice. That's pretty good.
Somehow I managed to fit explosive and stable together, but
yeah.
Big fat liquidity.
Ah, very good. Very good. For the MoonYield token, I put staking, rewards, stability, right? Was the 3 words I came up with. What would you choose for MoonYield token?
Surprising, exciting, profitable.
Ah, not bad.
Let's go with Moon stake share.
Yeah, Moon stake share is pretty good.
Moonstake share.
Mistake share.
Hey, I like that Moonstake share.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then for
Sounds cryptic.
MUSD, I put I need more.
Well, that's what I should use
Yes,
for the last one.
Yeah. We
and
have
I'll
a
tell
couple
you, Richie,
couple
you
here.
asked about this earlier. The
Yeah.
flow chart. Once they see that, that's when it started kicking it even more.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We're going to show that after. That's the next one after this game. We have a couple for MSS. Wife changing gains, extra cash from. That's cheating, Ivan. That's 4 words.
Uh,
We have a horny cat in the background. Oh, that's not 3 words. That's just your cat.
He's right though. She's in heat. That's why she's making so much noise.
Yeah. Another comment that came in. My stable situation, pretty good. Another one that came up also was one guy was talking about MUSD, and he was talking about it was a comment about the possibility of MUSD being worth more than $1. Is this possible?
I think it's very likely, especially at the beginning. I think
Okay.
it's something that over time is, once we release our LP bonding and we start, really building up that liquidity, I think it'll be less likely to happen at that time. Plus, we'll have
Yeah.
more participants in the ecosystem. So there'll be more people to capitalize on a overpeg MUSD or an underpeg MUSD. But I think out of the gate, 0 MUSD in circulation when the protocol launches. You got a stability pool paying ridiculous rewards. I don't think enough MSS exists at the current price to be able to mint enough MUSD to do everything that we need to do with it, right? So just to repeat that, right? MUSD, you need it for the stability pool. MUSD, we need it for liquidity. Users are going to need it for liquidity in the near future. There's literally the market cap on MSS is under $1 million right now. So like the maximum amount of MUSD that could get borrowed, with I wonder, like, I don't have the number in front of me of how much MSS is actually liquid right now, right? Like, because obviously a bunch of our MSS is locked up in staking, a bunch of it's in the liquidity pool. So if you look at how much MSS is actually liquid and able to be deposited into the lending protocol, that's way too small of a number for how much MUSD will need to exist. So that's going to drive the MUSD peg way up, in my opinion. Not financial advice, but I think that's very likely to happen, which basically is going to end up trickling down to MSS price going way up because, MUSD, let's say it's at $2. Well, how do you capitalize on that? You get MUSD to sell on the open market. How do you get MUSD? Only one way. You got to put that MSS into the lending, right?
Yeah,
So.
that's true actually. Yeah, because you can either put the MSS in and then borrow out the MUSD, which is if it is over $1, then you're getting even more value for it.
Richie, a great
yeah.
follow-up conversation on this strategy-wise, whenever, is Aaron and Mike had a great conversation in Drip Millions video, and we got another one of the strategy of watching the MUSD peg, and that would depend on your strategy, and it's really more of an advanced strategy in the MoonYield protocol. Depending on what that MUSD peg is doing, that depends on what direction that you go.
Yeah, so I'll give you guys an example. If MUSD is at 2.0 peg, which I think it easily could be early on in the protocol launch, right? So a good option would be if I have a certain amount of liquid MSS and my end goal is to put MUSD into the stability pool to earn, what I think would be a better strategy would be to go ahead, take your MSS, deposit it and borrow out MUSD, and MUSD is over peg. So sell it on the open market and use those proceeds that you just got to get more MSS. And then, then you can then borrow more MUSD to get into the stability pool, or if it's still over peg, feel free to rinse and repeat, really.
Yeah. It's very interesting, actually.
There's a lot of loops in the beginning when it's volatile that's going to be very good. Hey, listen, guys, we cannot stress this enough. You do not understand how much MSS is going to be needed for this protocol. Like, when you think you have enough, you need to think about it again and then get yourself some more MSS. Like, can't stress it enough.
Shane says, any predictions on how high MSS will go? All right. So if I look at the chart, it's very easy because this is a new chart because the MSS token was brought to a new token contract, right? After the audits. So what I can say is the all-time high on the current MSS chart is 45 cents, right? So how high can it go? All-time high. Easy for me, I think, for MSS to break into price discovery for this chart. I would say no problem. I know Aaron doesn't like price predictions, so that's why I didn't ask you. But I'd take
Oh, I
this
like them. I'm
comment.
just really bad with them.
Yeah.
I'll go there. Rich.
Yeah.
I'll go there.
Yeah.
So I say 15 cents is coming sooner than later. Really
Xtoshi's
and
got
truly.
25. Yeah.
Richie, can you grab that question that's
yeah.
right above the one that you grabbed?
Does the
Foster?
M, Doctor? Oh yeah, here.
Yep.
Liquidity disabled redemptions for the first 14 days after launch. Will we do the same? Okay, good question.
Yep. So so liquidity the platform does have a built-in 14-day, I think it's called like the bootstrap period, where indeed redemptions are disabled. So yeah, we will be doing the same thing.
Good. And what are redemptions?
Redemptions is the mechanism to get MUSD back to peg if it's under peg. So, I mean, again, I think that at the beginning with 0 MUSD in circulation, I think that, if peg deviates from $1, it's going to be to the upside, not the downside. So I don't think this is really going to impact much. But yeah, while we are building up that initial liquidity and getting that stability going, redemptions are disabled for the first 14 days. Great question.
Good. We have one question here. What advantage or improvements are there that MoonYield has over liquidity?
So I'm a big believer in if it's not broke, don't fix it. Liquidity, what are the objectives of liquidity? They want a stable coin. LUSD is very stable. They want, a well-paying protocol. It's been a successful protocol. So I didn't really want to change anything that's already proven to be working. So, I mean, the biggest change is just related to what we're using as collateral, right? So they're using the native token Ethereum. We're using an ERC20 token, mint stake share. So because of that required some changes in the smart contracts, but let's say that's definitely the biggest change by far.
And Aaron, you made sure to point out this is not algorithmic.
No, it's the MUSD has hard peg mechanisms built in. It's not something where like, I was big into like tomb forks before, right? With bomb money. And that was algorithmically pegged where you're just incentivizing the right behavior, but you're not really giving any like hard financial incentive that like basically guarantees the peg. But with hard peg mechanics, you basically are essentially guaranteeing the peg, right? So to go back to like the redemptions that we were just talking about, it's something where if MUSD is say trading at 80 cents, anybody's able to buy that on the open market for 80 cents and trade it in for $1 worth of MSS. So that loop right there brings the peg back up. And as actually someone pointed out in the MSS chat, I don't think I had a chance to get back about this comment, but someone brought up that, because of the MSS sell tax, a redemption basically needs MUSD to be under 91 cents in order for that to be profitable. And that's not something that we overlook. That's perfectly fine. So MUSD definitely could go between 91 cents and $1 before it makes financial sense to do a redemption. So, we might not have quite as tight of a peg as what LUSD has, just because obviously there's no tax on selling Ethereum. So, but yeah.
Hey, Aaron, your monitor just shook. Did your cat jump up there with you?
Yep.
We have a huge prediction here from BR. He says 50 cents 60 days after launch. Xtoshi agrees. Got some bullish people here.
I mean, I think our liquidity is pretty huge. So that's the one thing that we got working against a price like that. But I mean, I could see it.
Well, Drip Millions in the chat.
Liquidity.
Really enjoyed Drip Millions live stream with you guys the other day. Watched the whole thing. It was good.
Yeah,
watched it today.
Some good fun.
Really great. What I always say is with the price of MSS, like for me personally, if we come back to MSS in the future, 6 months in the future, and the price is exactly what it is at the moment, we've all won. For me, I don't need MSS to go up or down, just remain pretty much steady, and we're all good. So with this huge liquidity that it does have, it does make it harder for it to moon, exponentially moon, like crazy moon. But we don't need it to do that because it already pays out the highest APR in crypto. you know.
Yep.
So with this lending rollout, it's offering the legs and the utility for MSS to continue to pay out this huge APR with, you know, with having a great price, which makes it profitable for everyone that's using it. So, which is awesome to see. Awesome. So we have some visual aids actually today as well. We don't just need to look at us all the time. So we had a question from one user. He was asking a little bit about, are you able to see your collateral ratio when you use the site for MoonYield? So if I bring up the screen, is it okay, Aaron?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, so this is the site, which will be
It's
live.
It's a demo front
soon.
end. Yeah.
Yeah, the demo front end for it. There's a lot of ETH you got there.
Yeah. So as you can see, like as I'm typing, because a lot of these components will be very, very similar. You can see as I'm typing in my collateral, it already pre-filled out the borrow amount at 100 because that is the minimum. So again, if I try to lower this, it's not going to let me.
Okay.
But you can see
100 MUSD minimum.
If I'm planning to borrow the minimum, you'll be able to see as you're, typing in your MSS amount, you can see your collateral ratio right there, color coded too. So
yeah.
So yeah, you can definitely see that. And once you have a position open, that will always be accurate. So again, this is a demo front end, so I can just change the price. So if the price of MSS goes up from 5 cents to 8 cents, let's say, let me just set that. So our current collateral ratio is 240%, and that's going to jump up in a second. 384% now. So that's going to move with the MSS price. And we are using a time-weighted average price oracle, something I learned about very well from the bomb days. But so, a massive buy or sell in MSS is not going to make an instant impact on the price that this system takes into consideration. It's going to take hours in order for, 6 hours to be exact, for for any of those big trades to really impact anything. So
that's good, and that's alpha information for anyone who's in.
Yeah, I haven't talked about that yet. So
yeah, because then some people will know that, some people will not know that, right? And of course you can use that to your advantage. So then, say for the price difference there for MSS. So how big a swing do we see from going from, say we're at the moment we're at 3 cents and we go down, say we go down 20 cents from there. So what kind of percentage change will we see there in the collateral?
Just because of how this front end's built, I don't think I can go into any more detail than pennies. But
okay,
if we're at 3 cents, and let me just put in a little bit more. Actually, let me make this a bit more realistic.
Okay.
So let's say somebody jumps in with maybe like on 10,000 MSS at 3 cents. Oh, it was in recovery mode because I dropped it under. 1 second. Let me just do that real quick. Okay, so let's go into something a bit more realistic. So you're depositing 10,000 MSS.
Yep.
So I'd say something a little bit under 200% is going to be something typical that somebody might go in with.
Okay.
So again, I'm the only account that has a trove on this because I just started it. So it's actually not letting me go below 200. So I can't really demo this properly right now without opening up a bunch of more troves. But,
okay, well, we can speak through it though. So then you deposit the 10,000 in, you borrow at the 150 MUSD.
Yep. It's going to drop it just a tiny bit, just so I'm at a little bit over 200. And again, that's like the message said, that's because I'm the only borrower right now. Because I'm the only borrower, it's not letting me go under 200%, which is just a built-in safety.
And there's only going to be one trove, or you would have a series of troves?
So each wallet will have one.
Okay.
Right. So actually, I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people have asked questions about that. I think there's a lot of confusion about that. I think in some protocols, every interaction would be like a new position that you're opening up, right? Like that's not the case here. So you're always going to have like one amount of collateral and one amount of debt, and you can interact with the protocol to change those numbers, right? You can deposit more collateral, you can withdraw collateral, you can pay back MUSD, you can borrow more MUSD. So you can always adjust those numbers as you see fit. But yeah, they're always part of that one position per wallet. So one strategy could be that somebody might have two wallets. They might want to have one that's like ultra risky and one that's more conservative. Maybe they're big bag, they want to have a bit more conservative. that's a strategy that definitely you can set up, but that would require 2 wallets to have like a dual
Yeah.
risk strategy.
Okay. So from here, you've borrowed the MUSD, and I see here below the Trove it says their stability pool,
Yep.
and it says you have no MUSD in the stability pool. So then you can, it's all on one page as well. That's good.
Yeah.
You know, I
Hey,
think
Richie,
it's
that 200% around there, that's my plan on gliding through at about 200, 220, somewhere around there.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, for anyone looking to push the limits, like, you know, as much as it is going to pay ridiculously high right out of the gate, it's a lot safer to kind of just see how things play out a little bit, and then, you know, maybe push the collateral ratio closer to the limit maybe after a little bit of time's passed.
Mm-hmm.
So I can go ahead and deposit that here. So we're not going to really see the rewards tick up properly because, again, I'm on a local test net here, so the blocks don't actually tick unless I do a transaction.
Yeah.
But on mainnet, this would be ticking up.
And you can see here, because there's no one else in the MUSD pool here, in the stability pool, Aaron's taken 100% of the pool, and his APR is 3
million?
3 million percent APR.
34 million?
Yeah, 34 million.
Yeah.
But what you're going to see then is when you deposit your MUSD into the stability pool, it's going to show the pool share. So that will be your individual share of all the MUSD in the stability pool.
Yep.
Like personally for me, if I get into any protocol and I manage to get close to 1% of that pool, I'm you know, very happy with that kind of position. But depending on how much MUSD is going to be put into this pool, we're going to see you know, a lot of MUSD, I think, coming into this pool. So
Yeah.
that's what we mean about you don't have enough MSS, you know.
There's a lot of
Possibly.
people saving up right now, Richie. A lot.
Yeah, exactly.
The dynamics are going to be so fun to watch, though, because, you know, you're going to see on one hand the stability pool that's paying this huge APR. So you're going to have guys that are just going to buy MUSD on the open market, probably not even looking at the peg, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to have this happening. And at the same time, you're going to have other guys that are going to see the peg at 2, 2.53, or maybe even 10. Who knows what it could get to, right? And then they're going to be thinking, well, do I take my MUSD out of the stability pool to go sell it for 5 times more than it's worth? Or do I buy more MSS so I can borrow more? Like there's so many different ways you can go about taking advantage of a situation like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be really interesting to see it. And I think it's going to bring a ton of trading volume, which is awesome.
Yeah, the volume, you know, people notice volume. They see it, they get attracted to it, it starts trending the token, and then they rush into it, right?
Yep.
And from there, so then you've put the MUSD into the stability pool. You'll start earning yourself Moonshare token and MSS token, right?
Oh, we got an interesting
Liquidation
comment
game.
actually from Hextoshi.
Xtoshi would be cool.
If there was no buy tax from MUSD to MSS. You know, and interesting enough, that's something that we actually could do because we do have the swap contract, which handles tax custom. So, I mean, it's definitely not impossible. I kind of like that. Yeah, we'll definitely think about that.
Nice. One question here. So if someone decides they don't want to use the MUSD in the protocol, they want to just sell the MUSD, how do they swap it into fiat?
So just keeping in mind what I already said about like the liquidity won't be set up like in the first second once the protocol launches, but you know, it'll be set up shortly after that. You'll be able to just swap it just like you'd swap any other tokens on BSC. So you'd be able to go to Pancake Swap, or, you know, a little bit after the protocol launches, I'm sure I'll build in a swap right into the site. So you'll be able to do it right on site, but at launch, you'll have to go over to like Pancake Swap or your favorite aggregator, like 1inch or whatever you guys use.
Yeah. Paste in the token address, probably paired with BNB in liquidity.
We're gonna pair it with a USDC.
Okay, paired with USDC, so then swap it into USDC and do what you wish with it.
Yeah, because the beauty of that is we can set up the V3 like super efficient, right? And we can have that super tight to try to, you know, maintain close to
that's
peg.
good. Yeah. And for those that stake into the stability pool, they get the very high APR, and they earn themselves the Moonshare tokens, and then you have Moonshare, and you can move into the third box, which is below there, which would be staking, right?
Yeah.
You can stake your Moonshare.
Actually, don't have any Moonshare. If I do a couple transactions, I'll be able to pick some up. I think this should flip the block over, which should give me some rewards here. Let's see.
They're coming in. So although for some people you might think, okay, this looks quite complex, but it's similar to the mint stake share site. It's very user friendly, this UI that you've made. Actually, I like it. It's easy to understand. For me, it's I see it, I understand it, I get it. Like of
Yeah, I
course,
mean,
a lot of the stats and the dash stats and things, they take time. You need to see them changing and moving every day. So then you start really getting used to it. But it's intuitive.
yeah, like you guys can expect something that's going to be quite similar to this for launch, but it's something that we will be improving over time. Like Richie said, it is very straightforward, in that like anything that you do, it's telling you what you're doing here before you do it, right? So I don't know if you guys weren't paying attention there. I'm just staking some Moonshare here. So I basically went to stake, and now it's showing me how much Moonshare do I want to stake. Okay, well, I want to stake all of it, so I press max.
Hmm.
So this is showing me in advance what my pool share is going to be. I'm going to have 100% of it. And it shows here exactly what I'm doing, which might be obvious right now, but it's not quite as obvious if like you already have a position. So let's say I go 152. Right. So now if I go to adjust this, so now here you can see I have the option to claim my gains, which aren't nothing at the moment, or I can adjust this. And if I just adjust this number down, it's going to say I'm withdrawing 2 Moonshare. If I adjust it up, I'm adding 3 Moonshare. So it gives you a nice summary. And that's a basic one. It's a bit more useful probably like up here where there's like numerous things that are happening, right? So if I'm like, depositing 1,000 more MSS and I'm borrowing 10 more bucks, you can see here exactly what's going on. Depositing 1,000 MSS and receiving 999 MUSD.
Question here from Ash. So there has to be liquidity in the protocol, stability pools, and staking pools. When people start taking profits, what's the plan to balance the equation? Tricky question.
Not really sure what you mean by balance the equation. The liquidity is there so people can trade. Stability pool is there for people to earn, but equally as important to stabilize the protocol. That's what if that's where liquidations are done through the stability pool, which has its own set of advantages to do it that way. So I mean, those are all just different things. So I mean, people can take profits in whichever token they like, and MUSD is the important token to be at peg, so it has those mechanisms built in to incentivize people to be selling MUSD when it's over peg, because you're getting more for your buck or for your money. And if it's under peg, it's incentivizing people to buy on the open market, because you can now take that, say 70-cent MUSD, and trade it for $1 of MSS. So
they work to balance each other essentially. Here's a question from Ivan. Are you going to do a training video on these features? I think, Ivan, you're going to see a lot of people making training videos on the features for MoonYield, because they're going to be able to direct people to the Mint Stake Share site to buy Mint Stake Share token to use inside of MoonYield. And then they're going to earn the very generous referral rewards, which come from Mint Stake Share buys. So I think you're going to see a lot of content on this.
Hey, Richie, I'm sure several of us
everywhere.
will be putting out a training video, and I know I'll be doing one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because as well, I mean, people have been looking for new, exciting content to make on Mint Stake Share, and this is exactly what we have. And it has enough complexity that you can make a slew. I mean, anyone with a social network, or wants to grow their own social network and wants to start becoming, an influencer, a YouTuber, or a guru, or just a helpful person, right? To try and, if you think, oh, I think people are actually going to make money from this, I think it's a great protocol, and you're a fan, and you start making content on it, whatever format you're going to use, then you can start earning affiliate bonuses from it, right? And you could probably plan out 7 to 15 videos with different strategies on this protocol with Mint Stake Share token, and just knock them out, right? There's enough complexity now in the ecosystem that you really can get going to it, right? It's going to be great. I can't wait to see what people start coming up with. Like there's some channels I watch. Like I'm quite excited to see what Moonshot Max comes up with, because he's a maths teacher, right?
Yep.
Oh, is he really? That's neat. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure if he is now, because Bull Run, but
Yeah.
but he's a trained maths teacher, right? So what he can come up with are sound strategies which work in numbers, right? And you know, if people watch my channel, like I work a lot in hype and excitement. I try and break things down so that the everyman can understand it, and I try and see like I process it how I see how this stat works, and then you know I just try and communicate that. Some people appreciate that. Other people who are numbers guys, they can come to other content creators who really want to fall back on the maths of it, right? You could come to Crypto Cuban where he's getting really into the deep deep understanding of how the protocol truly works, right? I've noticed that he really enjoys that kind of to try and communicate that to people, right? To try and explain to them how it really deeply works. And that's another way of content, right? That will be starting to come out. It's great, like for Peter as well. You know, on your YouTube channel, it's you've said before you're quite new to crypto, but you're experienced. You're an arborist.
I think it's important to note,
You know.
Richie, in these videos that Aaron and Mike's hair is always perfect.
Yeah, that's true. But you have a hat.
Yes.
So while you guys were talking there, I just plugged in some numbers here, and you know, obviously I've already kind of like explained the numbers and everything, but it kind of hits differently when you see it right in front of your face, right? For how this is going to impact MSS.
All right,
you know, based on an average 200% collateral ratio, I need to deposit and based on a 3-cent price, by the way, I need to deposit 690,000 MSS to get a 10,000 MUSD loan at 200%.
Wow.
Like just think about that, guys, for a second. Like I'm thinking like we need hundreds and hundreds of thousands of MUSD in circulation. There
Oh my
does not
gosh.
exist enough MSS to do that unless the price goes way up.
Yeah.
So
Richie, I'm time stamping this as a short, man, at 1 hour and 21 minutes.
Yeah.
It's crazy to look at that, right? Like, you know, some guys might do a little bit more risky than 200%, but you know, its number doesn't change that much for.
Wow. Wow.
At 156, I can take 13,000, right?
Yeah.
With that same collateral. So again, there's just not enough MSS out there to facilitate this at the current price.
And then anyone who's thinking it's all right, I'll just buy MUSD, but then you're going to hike up the price of it. And then anyone who's in the stability pool already, who buys the MoonShare, token, who's in the, because if you're in the stability pool, the other one down below it, then you're taking your MoonShare, you're earning out here.
I think the biggest
thing.
thing.
Think about it actually.
So the biggest thing, Richie, just to continue on with what you were saying. So people are going to see this. They're going to see the stability pool paying out huge, and they're going to say, okay, well, I guess I got to buy some MUSD.
Yeah.
Well, what does that do for MSS? You're going to have guys that now are incentivized heavily to sell MUSD on the open market. The only way to get MUSD without buying it is to borrow it. The only way to borrow it is with MSS. So it all circles back to MSS mooning. So.
Wow.
Yes.
Want the flow chart, Richie?
Yeah, let's bring the flow chart. Okay. I'll take this one. You got it. All right. Look at that, all the graphics. Okay. So we got here a flow chart, just made by Peter. So let's guide me through it. Let's see.
So basically, you start in the upper left-hand corner. That's your collect or claim, as people call it, or buy in MSS, which a lot of people are doing right now. And you have your green and yellow arrows. So you buy your MSS, you put it into lending, and then that turns into MUSD. And then if you go to the right, following the green arrows, you go into the stability pool. And then once you stake it, that earns your MoonShare token. You stake your MoonShare token, and then that turns back into MUSD rewards. And that left arrow going off to the left goes right into Richie's pocket.
Nice. What is the hashtag? Oh, the QR code.
That's to my YouTube channel.
Nice. Oh, very smart. Good.
Oh, is that a QR code?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's green like trees.
Yes, absolutely.
By design.
Now I'm gonna tell you, man, what was I started covering crypto about 3 months ago in some other projects. But I'll tell you, Aaron, this has been a phenomenal journey. It's had a lot of ups and downs. But man, you created a solid project. There's friends of mine who use this protocol, It works. They paid their debt. They paid for Christmas, and the price is still stable. So, man, you've done a phenomenal job.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for all those kind words. And yeah, I'm just excited to be on this journey with all you guys. Sorry, I was just reading some of the comments and got distracted there. My mistake.
Yeah, Richie. So Aaron keeps talking about these blue steaks that he's getting. He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna cook a steak while we're streaming one night," and he's holding out on us, man.
No, wait. There's a little bit of confusion here. I think I love my blue rare filet mignons, but I don't cook them myself.
You gotta step out and do it.
I don't trust myself to cook a blue rare steak.
You just got to bring it home and eat it while we're streaming, man. You got to do it.
Okay, yeah, bring it home from the restaurant. I thought you meant like bring it home raw and cook it. And
no, hell no. Kill yourself.
Well, blue rare is not too different, but
take the steak on the flame, boom, 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 boom.
Yep,
there we go.
That's about it.
Yeah,
it'll be cold inside.
Yeah, that's what Brett's saying. Still waiting for Aaron to cook a steak on stream. Now I wish, did I win that MSS? I need more. Yeah, actually, for all you, we still have the competition going. So for the giveaway, we've now reached 81 entries for it. So all you need to do is put hashtag to the MoonYield, scrolling at the bottom, and you get into this giveaway for a huge bag of Mint Stick Share Token.
Hey, Richie.
Yes.
Sorry. Yes. So a question that has come up several times, and it was asked again. The MSS gains from liquidation, Aaron, you gave a good explanation of that the other day. How do people in the stability pool gain MSS from that when the liquidations occur?
Let's talk about that in 1 sec. Let's let Richie handle
Sorry,
that.
Rich.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was just a quick question about the giveaway, which was here. She's asking Shiral, which channel is the giveaway, the hashtag giveaway on? If you put it into any of these places on the,
is it grabbing it from ours? For sure, it's grabbing it from yours.
Yeah, I think it might be. Yeah.
Yeah, the giveaway tool works across all the channels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would be on X. We're on 5 different channels at the moment and going through this. So
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Back to what you were saying.
We can go to that the question right below the one that you just grabbed.
From Midnight Madness.
Yep.
Can you explain liquidation gain in the stability pool?
Okay. That's it. Yep. That's what I was talking about.
Yep. So it's probably I noticed another one or two had asked that question in this chat as well. So I think that's probably coming from seeing the liquidation gain on my screen here, or back when I was showing my screen.
This one, right
here. So, so I mentioned that the stability pool handles liquidations, which is beneficial in a couple ways, and I'll get into that in a sec. Basically, the way that this works is when an account or a wallet is in a liquidatable state, so your collateral ratio is under 130%, basically your account is able to be liquidated. Now, the way that this protocol, MoonYield, will handle that liquidation is the MUSD to repay your bad loan at that point comes from the stability pool, and the MSS collateral that you had put up actually goes into the stability pool. So I can give some example numbers if that would help. But so just say, for example, I'm going to make the numbers very simple for this demo. Just say there's 1,000 MUSD in the stability pool. Just say me and Richie are in the stability pool. He's got, 900 in there. I got 100 in there.
Nice.
I said 1,000, right? So, so if there now is a liquidation where we need 100 MUSD to repay that bad loan, that's going to come proportionately from both of us because we're both in the stability pool. But because Richie's got 900 in there, he's got 90% of the share of the pool. He's going to be like 90% of that MUSD that goes to pay back that liquidation is going to come out of his MUSD. But then a financially beneficial amount of MSS is going to go into the stability pool. So just say you get liquidated when you're at 120% collateral ratio. There's that 20% extra that's there in order to pay the stability pool. So, Richie's going to lose 90 MUSD, but he's going to gain like 105 roughly dollars worth of MSS, give or take a couple bucks, right? So basically, what could be done at that point is you can then claim out your MSS and use it to borrow more MUSD, or you could sell it on the open market, or you can do whatever you want at your own leisure. But the huge advantage of this is that it prevents like automatic cascading liquidations, which some people might be familiar with, right? Like in traditional or typical liquidations, the tokens are getting sold in that transaction, right? So if a liquidation happens and we need 100 MUSD to repay your bad loan, typically what's going to happen is MSS is going to get sold right in that transaction to get MUSD to repay the loan. But because we have a stability pool, it all happens without touching the liquidity pool, right? So the tokens don't actually trade at all until someone decides to say, hey, I'm going to take my extra MSS from the stability pool and I'm going to go swap that for more MUSD or whatever they want to do, right? So that's how all that works, and hope that wasn't too confusing.
Yeah, a comment here is from Lotaro saying, after understanding the protocol, his mind can't stop thinking on the best strategies. Exactly. Like,
yeah, there's just so many ways you can go about it, right?
A lot of ways to play this. John Timothy says he's going to retire with MSS and MoonYield from the 9 to 5. Yes.
Awesome.
It's going to be a game
Let
changer.
us know when you put in that resignation letter.
Yeah,
I want to hear about it.
Ash says, okay, so one need to put MUSD in a pool to generate earnings and share, then put stake share to earn MUSD. How does MUSD generate earnings? Share. Then how does the stake and rewards earn? Oh, that's
so MUSD is earning Moonshare because that's how we emit rewards for users, right? Like if you put your MUSD in the stability pool, you will be earning your portion of the rewards that get emitted to that pool, and you'll be able to claim those out as often as you want. So in terms of the Moonshare staking, you can see here, I've only had this staked for just a couple seconds here, where I just borrowed like, I think 10 MUSD. So I got, 20 cents of MUSD of issuance gain here. Mm-hmm. So again, that was off a super, super small borrow, but that's where the MUSD is coming from to pay the Moonshare holders. Right. So I can pump that up a little bit. Let's pump these numbers up a little bit. So I'm going to be borrowing 14,800 MUSD. So now I've got a little bit healthier of an issuance gain to collect, right? $300 almost.
And conservative is 200, right, Aaron?
Say it again.
Conservative is right around 200%, right?
Oh, for the collateral ratio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I know some people have talked about, going pretty risky on it. And, it's something where, if the MSS price does what we all think it's going to do, that's probably not the worst idea in the world. But I still think it's safer to kind of you might have some guys that are just kind of like buy the rumor, sell the news that might be selling MSS right when lending launches. So you just don't want to be super close to that 130% just in case. I mean, we do have the time weighted average price oracle. So one quick sell is not going to get you liquidated, but still you'd probably want to have a little bit of a margin there until things stabilize.
Mm. What's the highest ratio you can go to?
Oh, you can have that as high as you want, right? So if I pay back a bunch of this and deposit some more MSS, I got a almost 10,000 collateral ratio now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
I mean, everyone's probably going to be sitting, 100,000 almost. After MSS goes to like $5, everyone's going to be sitting at a high collateral ratio, right?
You will get my retirement video too if that happens, Aaron.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's right.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, what were you saying? I was going to say, we should call a time on when we're going to do the giveaway, or call the winner of the giveaway. So far,
how many we at, Richie?
We have 88 entries, which is a nice number, nice round number into it.
Let's try and get it up to 90.
Up to 90
yet, so I'll be 89.
Yeah, we have 88 entries so far. Let me see. Let's create that.
Or we can go for whatever you guys want. We've already been on for over an hour and a half, though. So
yeah, it's almost we'll have to wrap it up soon, but I have one more thing I want to talk about actually, then we can wrap up. Which is well, we already looked at it though, because it's expectations, right? The APR expectations for, maximizing yield. And we did just see there when we were looking at the test site, was where's the giveaway again? We're up to 90. I'm 95 then. Let's do 95.
Okay.
The expectations for the APRs that we're going to be seeing. And we did just see there, if you missed it, when Aaron was playing around on the site, the APR for the beginning, when there is not much yet in the pools, is huge, unbelievably massive, right? In the tens of thousands of APR. But what are, expectations that you think we'll see, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, into the protocol?
It's a great question. And, I think I'm even more bullish on the APR now that I played around with the numbers a little bit to realize, like, at a 3-cent price, how much MSS needs to get deposited just to take a relatively small loan of like 5,000-10,000 MUSD. There's not going to be a ton of MUSD competing for those rewards unless, like, MSS literally has to moon in order for there to be a lot of MUSD in circulation, right? So, I don't know if I want to say a number, but let's just say that, however bullish I was before, I'm a little more bullish now. So,
yeah. So it's crazy. Like, there's a couple things that could happen, right? If this plays out in the way that I expect it to, and that, of course, we all hope it does. Crypto's risky, right? But it would be the MSS price goes up highly in price, which then makes, we're looking at the chart now, we're playing around that 3-cent mark. Really nice pull up from the bottom here. So this would be the floor just 7 days ago, right? So that's a 1 week 45% gain in MSS value in the last week, which is great, really great to see. Volume picking up and buys picking up, and big green candles is what we like to see, right? But as we're coming into the staking in your mint stake share, lending it in, right, to then get this MUSD token, right? So then we might see a lot of people buying the MSS and the price going up. That could be one expectation. And then hard to get this MUSD token, as you just showed on the site. We're going to need a lot of MSS to get this MUSD, right? Which means a lot of people will choose to, you know what, I'm just going to buy MUSD. I want to buy it. I want to stake it in the protocol. I want to get the rewards that way, which would drive up the price of MUSD. So that could be option 2, MUSD moons or MSS moons, or they both moon, right? Or their APRs in the staking are incredibly high. That could also be another expectation that could happen. There's so many variables.
Yeah.
And the price of the Moon share token can go up too. It's got
we haven't really touched on MoonShare token much at all in this video because there's just so much to cover. And I personally, I just can't wait to get my hands on the UI so I can, start making guided content about how to use it and different scenarios, different strategies. I can't wait to start, watching and learning from other people about what they're doing and how they're experimenting with it as well. It's gonna be fantastic. We got 100. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
We did it.
Awesome.
Good. Okay. Will I draw?
Let's do it.
Okay. Let's go. Who's the winner? Dun, 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 dun. I love a giveaway. Oh.
Congrats.
EACB. So what's the process here? If
the winner's in our Telegram, you could reach out to any of our admins, or if you're in just crypto mischiefs, you can hit up Richie, I guess, with the wallet address, and he can get it to me. As long as I get the wallet address somehow, I'll send over 20,000 MSS right away.
Yeah. And then that's you set for lending. Like, all you need to do is, you could consider either stake it into MSS and have a, passive income, continuous. Oh, there he is. He won. Yes. I love it when we find the winner.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you, EACB. What are you going to do? What you going to do with the MSS tokens? What's your plan? Let's see what his reply is. What's he going to do? What's your decision? Lot you can do with the token now. A lot you can do. He's going to go to bed.
Well, hey, if the plan is to put the MSS into staking or into MoonYield, then I mean,
Yeah, you could go
going
to
to
bed.
bed's the right move.
Exactly. Then come back. Remember, guys, so December 18th at 18 UTC is when the liquidity is going to be added to so I keep getting MoonYield and then
Yeah,
MoonShare. Yeah.
share token.
Keep tripping up in the token names. So you're going to be able to stake, not stake, you're going to be able to trade MoonShare token on December 18th at 18 UTC. And the protocol is going to launch on December 19th at 18 UTC.
I have my BNB ready, Richie. I will be buying any dips when the trading goes live.
All right. So you're all ready.
What dips?
Tomorrow I'm going to get everything, my ducks in line, I think, and get ready with this. I just bought a little bit more MSS while we were talking, actually, on the base chain, which I didn't stake it this time. I was like, I'm going to go a little bit liquid. After you showed me those mechanics for what's going on with this, I was just like,
yeah, I'm going to go ahead and buy some too.
Yeah. So EACB is saying he is going to stake and MoonYield 50-50 play, he thinks. Good. Smart move. And congratulations on the win. So you can either, I would suggest reaching out in the Mint Stake Share Telegram would be the best place to collect your rewards. I think that's the easiest place.
Message any of our admins and they'll get the wallet address to me and I'll get you paid out.
Yeah.
Back for 1 second about the MoonShare token. That's kind of, I guess, my fault for the confusion there. So it's the actual name of the token is MoonYield Share, but just the symbol is MoonShare.
Ah, okay.
Right. So it is the MoonYield Share. So
the MoonYield Share. That works. Yeah, we didn't touch too much on it today because there was just so much to cover with the MoonShare token, right? And I think, let's get back to our talking heads. Yeah. So it'll be tomorrow, roughly. It's trying to get my times in line now. So 1800 UTC, December 18th is less than 24 hours away, right?
No, it's going to be 24 hours it's like a day and a half, roughly.
Okay. So about 36 hours later, trading will open on the token, right? So you will also be able to take BNB and purchase it on PancakeSwap, I'm guessing. Is where we're going to be able to purchase it. And anyone who is in the pre-sale will be able to see the value of the tokens that you now own. And you will be able to stake it in the site at the same time the liquidity is added, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely before the protocol launches, I'll try to have it ready for right when the trading opens, but
yeah, well, it doesn't need to be exactly the same, but
yeah.
So pre-sale buyers will be able to get the advantage of having the highest possible APRs immediately on launch, and that's super bullish, which is why if you miss the pre-sale, then you have your chance to also essentially get into pre-sale 2, which would be the live trading of the token before the protocol launches. So it is a second chance, for this. We have Ivan says, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody.
Yeah. EST 1800 UTC is
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay, 1 p.m.
So actually that's, if you're ever going to memorize a time about Mint Stake Share, actually 1 p.m. Eastern is, because when the time zone changes, it was actually 1700 UTC before, but then we had the daylight savings time. So then it switched to 1800 UTC. So if you want to know year round what time it is, it's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
High noon, baby.
I get really confused with time now. It's I've got a pretty good app called Time Buddy, which keeps me in check, which just runs and I plug in the dates and times I want to know. But the problem is working with a Mac, which is my go-to computer for plugging in basically for streaming and things, is that whenever I go across to another country now, because I think something's happened in China basically, but now the time refuses to adjust with the Wi-Fi you're connected to.
Oh,
interesting.
It hangs back on the last time zone it was in, And then I need to manually enter the time zone into it now.
Oh, I could see that getting confusing, especially if you're doing like calendar invites and stuff. Like it's like, did my Outlook switch over to a different time zone, or am I doing
Exactly,
it in
right.
my time zone or the old time zone? Or
Yeah, exactly. And
Oh.
so then someone like say schedule on YouTube, then it's still pulling from China time, even though I'm not in China anymore.
Yeah,
It's not nice. Not nice.
Beat
And
I
poor
could see
head
that being a
against
disaster.
wall.
Yeah.
need all these tokens to the moon so I can buy a new Mac.
I heard that.
You can get a private jet, so you can just get to whatever time zone you want to be in, right?
Exactly, right? Exactly. Okay, guys, I think we can wrap up the stream for today. And I'm going to try my best to join you guys for when you're going to be getting on
Launching.
stream for the next launch streams. Do you have any time set for these, or is it also going to be 1 p.m. high noon or?
Yeah.
High noon, sir.
1800 UTC.
Okay, so you're going to be doing the adding token liquidity live, right?
Yep. That was a
Okay,
great idea
great.
that you had. So
Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm going to try my best to make sure I'm there for that, because I think it'll be really fun little stream.
Yep.
And I'm sure the room will be packed for that as well.
Yeah.
Do I hear a TriCast in the future?
watch. Yep.
Yeah, quadcast possibly.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Bullish.
yeah,
We're
exactly.
gonna
Aaron, bring the
break
cat.
Oh, one last question before we go was from Midnight Madness. He's just asking, where can he get where's my cursor? Where can he get the Moonshare token address?
Over in the Minstake Share Telegram, just do like a /contracts or CA command, and our bot will give you the contract address.
Nice. Already. Okay, well, I'll see you guys soon then for getting ready for this exciting new utility being added to Minstake Share.
Well,
Fantastic.
thanks so much for hosting this AMA. It was a lot of fun, and
Yeah,
it's always a pleasure,
fun.
man. Love
It's always fun
working
with you guys, man.
Thank you for having me, Richie. Really appreciate it.
No worries. And you can check out Peter on his YouTube, which is the Crypto Arborist, and also on his Twitter account. What's your Twitter handle again?
I had to get a new Twitter account. It's liquidity.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I like the new
easy to
handle.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Easy to search.
Yeah,
Good.
love it. And thanks everyone for joining in. Had some great questions. So
Yeah.
Richie, man, when the UI comes out, man, love to do a collab with you just to kind of throw ideas back and forth.
Love it. Love it. Let's do it. 100%. I'm in. Cool. Okay. See you guys later. And thanks everyone for joining in today's stream. Goodbye.
thanks, guys.